Thank you guys so much. I know there's so many fun words in that intro. So we're just going to start right now. So again, he mentioned I am with LaFlore Lab Probiotics Skincare. Today's topic is how topical probiotics help to manage inflammation. So a little bit about me before we get started. My name is Embry Stutzman. I am a licensed esthetician. I'm also the in-house esthetician and sales manager at LaFlore Live Probiotics Skincare. And just like a lot of you guys here today, my passion is caring for the skin and the skin microbiome. And I actually got into this industry because I was struggling with my skin. I was really just unhappy with it, and I went into aesthetics to help fix it. You know, I was actually a makeup artist first, and my favorite part of being a makeup artist was helping someone find confidence they didn't know they had. So it's really great to kind of see that same translation into skincare. But while helping others get confidence, I was struggling with my skin. So that's what brought me here today, and that's really why my presentation is so passionate and personal. And I'm about to show you why. So guys, this is me. This might shock you, but this is me. What we're looking at here, besides fabulous lashes, is a mix of dermatitis and rosacea. Because it's not fun if you only have one of them. You really need to have both to truly just make it detrimental to your life. So I really suffered from this for about a decade, honestly, and it's what drove me to being an esthetician. So that's, silver lining. But after a decade of struggles, it really wasn't until I started making a couple of lifestyle changes, limit soy, no more dairy, very exciting. But the most impactful and consistent results that I actually got was once I incorporated a topical live probiotic. I had gone to dermatologists, I had gone to doctors, I talked to my coworkers, my bosses at the spa. They all had different solutions. I'd taken every topical oral medication you could think of, Voltrex, Relactone, those kind of things. Nothing really worked. All I needed was a topical probiotic, and no one taught me that. That was all it took. I was imbalanced. So we're going to kind of go over that a lot today. So we will kind of dive through why topical probiotics might be the solution that your clients have been looking for. So what I ask of you while we're going through the presentation is keep in mind your clients, your friends, your families, maybe even yourselves, anyone who's been struggling and has just become frustrated and irritated with their skin and is really maybe looking for that solution because flare-up sucks. So you might think you get out of control with something and they keep flaring up. Those are the people I want you to consider today. So let's talk a little bit about LaFlore. LaFlore, we're a spa professional brand that specializes in live probiotic technology. We were actually created by our parent company, Dakota Biotech, which is a biotech company based out of Florida, and we specialize in the human microbiome. Since we're the sponsor, we chose that because we knew professionals like you guys were the best to align with our messaging and to really get clients understanding what they're going to need to help get their skin back on track. And we can comfortably say that you guys have liked us too. We've been so honored to win so many wonderful awards these last couple of years, and it just really helps us to validate that we really are making a difference, and it's showing, and people are understanding our mission and what we're all about. All right, so let's get into what we're going to learn today. Maybe.
No, with it.
There we go. All right. We are going to start by learning why topical probiotics are the ultimate active smart ingredient on the market. Then we're going to talk about how they can help your clients. And we're going to wrap it up with how topical probiotics will help increase your bottom line. At the end of the day, we love to help our clients, but we are still businesses. We still have to stay in business to keep helping them. So we will go through a little bit about that too. So something I want you guys to know is that your clients can benefit from topical probiotics, but you're probably thinking which client, right? Turns out all of them, everyone benefits from a topical probiotic. That's the one thing we all share. as humans. We all have a skin microbiome, which is home to billions of bacteria. And even though everyone's is individual, it's like a fingerprint, and it's constantly changing, probiotics will always help benefit it. So that's kind of that nice fallback. You don't have to worry about this long saying you know you can use a probiotic on them. And the reason for that is you cannot help your client's skin and not improve the health of the skin microbiome. They're integrally related. They are truly it's a yin and yang. So even though everyone benefits from our Topical probiotics, there are a few clients that we notice benefit significantly. So those are going to be those who struggle from atopic dermatitis or really any form of dermatitis. Again, you saw mine before, so that was me. I also fell into this lovely rosacea category. We see so much rosacea now in spas. The reason is we're stripping our skin so much with the world we live in, and we're too clean. Those about eczema, acne. I get a lot of questions about acne. Acne is bad bacteria, so that good bacteria will help. Skin sensitivity, anyone who identifies as sensitive or if they sensitize their skin by overdoing it. Psoriasis, we see that from time to time. Someone who's having allergic inflammation, accelerated aging, UV-induced sun damage. We see this a lot as professionals, and a lot of these, they walk in and you kind of get nervous, right? Because they're like, oh, they're flagged up. I don't want to make it worse. I don't know how to treat them. I'm not a doctor. Now you can rest easy. You're going to have a solution at the end of this to treat them. You're going to know what to do and how to get them some lasting and wonderful results. All right. So why is everyone talking about the skin microbiome now? I'm sure everyone in this room is familiar with the skin microbiome, right? We've all heard about it. How about a raise of hands? Have you heard about the skin microbiome this last year? Yeah? All right, if you haven't, you're going to. It is becoming the #1 search topic. And most Americans are really familiar with the impact, the positive impact of biotics in digestive health with the rise of oral supplementation, right? We've all heard about taking a probiotic. I personally took one this morning. It's become a very common thing. People understand the need for gut health. But it turns out that's not your only microbiome. Your skin has a microbiome too. And why are you not treating your skin microbiome? That is your body's first line of defense. It's your largest organ. Why would you not be supplementing that so it can properly, fight off different pathogens and it can really protects you and look radiant and glowing and all the things. The first thing you see in the mirror is the first thing people see about you. You have to take care of your skin. And honestly, because we knew about that, we're kind of wondering why there's a rise in it. Why haven't we been learning about this all along? This all really started in about 2014 when the completion of the Human Microbiome Project, which was a research initiative that utilized genetic sequencing to map out the myriad of bacteria living on our skin. And around our skin, near our skin, it's everywhere. So their findings were really nothing short of fascinating. They realized all of these bacteria were on there and they were all keeping us healthy. They were keeping our skin working and functioning properly. And that's what really sparked this movement of the skin microbiome health when it comes to skincare. So just so we can all be on the same page, the skin microbiome is the skin's outer layer. It's right above the stratum corneum, and it contains a community of billions, with a B, of bacteria that's also known as the skin flora. So you've heard we're from LaFlore, that's French for the flora. So you'll kind of hear those words interchanged in our industry. Skin is aura or microbiome, understand it's all together. But unfortunately, the microbiome is going extinct. And in fact, over the last 50 years, we have actually depleted the beneficial bacterium in our microbiome by an average of 30%. That's a very, very significant percentage, guys. That is why we're seeing all those skin conditions that I was highlighting earlier. We are stripping our skin and we need to stop because that's not the answer. So some of the preliminary studies actually suggest that those who are in touch with nature actually have healthy microbiomes than those who live indoors in more clean environments. So that whole phrase, rub some dirt in it, turns out there's actually a lot of merit to that because that dirt contains some beneficial bacteria and can actually help you. So let's take a look here at what an unbalanced skin microbiome does. So we're talking about it, I'm saying it's bad, but what does that really look like? So here with an unbalanced microbiome, you're going to see the growth of disruptive bacteria has overtaken the surface of the skin. So your skin has kind of a resource threshold. So the bad bacteria has outcompeted the good, which then causes chaos in the skin, because anything that gets knocked out of balance causes chaos. You're now going to see a damaged skin lipid barrier, which is going to aid in the inflammation and irritation of your immune cells. So your immune cells are no longer able to function properly. They're not able to fight off the pathogens and the viruses that we're encountering all day long. We are constantly encountering it. It's in the air around us. You need to have your skin healthy and functioning to truly fight that off. Because when this happens, you have a ton of inflammation in the skin, heat. If you see someone who's flared up and touch their skin, it's hot to the touch, right? The reason for that is that's that perfect breeding of the bad bacteria, that heat and the inflammation. So if you're stripping someone's skin who looks like this, you're adding fire to fire. You're making it worse. You're not allowing the skin to heal. You need to give it the right ingredients to really properly mend so you can reduce that flare-up and then, eventually stop the reoccurrence of it. That's what we want. We want to get your clients to this healthy, balanced microbiome. That's when the good bacteria has overtaken the bad. They've outcompeted them for resources on the skin, so they're thriving. And they're then fixing that skin lipid barrier, keeping the skin supple, keeping it hydrated. It's just so important, because when I got a flare-up, I knew because my skin would be so dry, and that dryness would just lead to more inflammation and more, irritation, and it just got so out of control. I was doing the wrong thing by scrubbing it and going a little more invasive than I should have. And then, once all that's in order, then your immune cells, they're calm, they're functioning properly at optimum levels, and they're fighting off those pathogens and those viruses. That's what's going to improve your client's skin. Everything is working together. Your skin is like a recipe. You have to have everything in the right proportions so you get really beautiful, healthy, hydrated, optimally functioning skin.
Oh.
So there are two basic categories of factors that are going to impact your skin microbiome. They're intrinsic and extrinsic. We're going to start with the intrinsic. Intrinsic is what's going to be originating from within your body. So these factors, some you can change, some of them you can't, so keep that in mind. Intrinsic factors are going to be your hormone levels, sebum levels, inflammation, immune system, aging, hydration levels, genetics. A lot of these we can't change, but they affect our skin microbiome, so it's important to note them. The other category of factors are extrinsic factors, things that originate outside of the body. These we kind of have a little more control over. There are things like your lifestyle, occupation. I here today, but a lot of my days I'm in front of a computer screen. That blue light, that's affecting my skin microbiome. Cosmetics. If you're applying something with a fragrance in it, it is horrible for your skin microbiome. It is absolutely detrimental. So be very mindful when you're picking out what's going on in your skin. Your skincare routine, what you apply to your skin, what gets absorbed into your body. Remember, we're one system, so you have to care about what you're putting on and near your skin. Medication, it's including antibiotics. If you think about it, when you go to a doctor and they prescribe you an antibiotic, what's the next thing they ask you to do when that's done? They're going to ask you to take a probiotic, because that antibiotic has wiped away the bacteria, good and bad. It doesn't know the difference. It's just getting rid of it. So you have to replenish that good bacteria so the bad bacteria can't regrow. Geographic location. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I live in a very urban city. Every time I walk in my door, I'm getting hit with pollution and construction, and I know it's affecting my skin microbiome, so I have to make sure that it's healthy and can fight off all the random stuff that you encounter walking around Atlanta, Georgia. And it's some weird stuff. Also climate, seasonality, pollutants. In Atlanta we have a beautiful spring. When those flowers bloom, it can affect your skin. Or when winter comes, it can affect the dryness of your skin. The moisture in the air is different. So for me, I know that even though I might be sniffling through my nose, my skin's going to look good because I'm properly managing it. I'm putting my probiotics on it to help combat some of these factors. So when I say probiotics means for life. It is a live beneficial bacteria. There's a lot of misunderstanding in our industry when it comes to a probiotic. Probiotics must be alive to truly be classified as a probiotic. That is very important to remember. That bacteria, when it's applied topically, will help to activate your flying skin's ability to combat the factors we just talked about, including, and most importantly, the inflammation. And topical probiotics, the reason you want them live is because they have been clinically proven to reinforce the skin's barrier and help with the immune support, instantly balance the pH, leaving supple skin with no dry patches. We know how important the pH is as professionals. It's going to improve the skin's hydration by reducing the transepidermal water loss. Again, that's been with it very, very essential. Slow the recolonization of pathogens and cause damage to the skin. Again, you're constantly countering pathogens and viruses. I cannot stress that enough. It's disgusting, but it's true. You're going to fight off those harmful pathogens, viruses on the skin, decrease the appearance of redness. Again, think about your rosacea clients. Reduce the frequency and intensity of breakouts, those acne clients, and reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. I hate saying anti-aging, but age management, unfortunately, you can't stop the aging process as much as we've all tried. We can manage it better and help give the tools to keep your flying skin looking young. And this is actually all done because we create, or those live probiotics create these postbiotic metabolites, AHA, BHA, vitamins, amino acids, ceramides. That is created to affect the bacteria. So that postbiotic metabolite, that is what it means. So if you hear someone talking about a postbiotic metabolite, it's another word that's starting to get thrown around more and more in our industry, and it's the compound produced by the probiotic during its life cycle. Again, those are the properties like AHA, BHA. It is the amino acids, it's the ceramides. We forget our skin makes the vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin A. All these things your skin can make, and it can make it more readily if you're applying a probiotic, because that's what's making it, the good bacteria, skin microbiome. So you can give that flush of good bacteria and really improve that. So you don't always need to apply an extra one on top of that. You can rest assured the probiotics taking care of that. So think if someone's sensitive to a vitamin C. We see that from time to time, clients being like, oh, I can't have vitamin C, it affects my skin. Well, the skin makes vitamin C. But if they can't have vitamin C cream or whatever you might be trying to put on them, you can give them a probiotic. So they're going to get that vitamin C brightening because their skin's making it for their individual skin, for their individual needs. When it's made for the skin and by the skin, they will not get the irritation and they will still get the amazing results. So let's talk some science, right? All the fun stuff. So we're looking here at some clinical research that was done in 2023. It was a clinical study. It was a 30-person. And they were evaluated by board-certified dermatologists, and they saw that when adding LaFlore's, hold on, we tiny them, see that? All right, when adding LaFlore's concentrated serum for 14 days, so just 2 weeks, I think anyone can sit around and try skincare for 2 weeks, right? That's not that hard. They saw an extreme difference when it came to hydration, so before and after, look at how much that hydration level has increased. There's this huge decrease in the inflammatory disease, and the signs of inflammation were significantly decreased. I cannot stress enough that this was just 2 weeks with one product, LaFlore Live Concentrated Serum. Just adding a live probiotic got these results in 2 weeks without anything overwhelming or invasive or any other kind of procedure. So here we're looking at dermatitis. Again, this is my passion right here because I struggle with it. I know a lot of people who struggle with it, and those reoccurrences, those flare-ups are just absolutely devastating. But when you add a topical probiotic, in those 14 days, we saw 100% reduction in dermatitis symptoms. I can personally attest to that. My flare-ups would start kind of midday. So someone saw my skin in the morning, they'd be like, wow, it's gorgeous. At the end of the day, they'd be like, oh my goodness, what happened? Well, nowadays, if I get a little bit of a flare that I feel coming on, I just get some probiotics, gone, no issues. There's also a 25% increase in hydration. Again, that hydration is really important for the skin to function properly. Just like you and I need to drink water to stay hydrated, our skin needs that same level of hydration. So you need to have something that's kind of keeping that water in. So here we're going to look at some rosacea. One of these participants had some lovely rosacea that we see very often nowadays. And in less than 40 days of using topical probiotics, she saw a 25% visible reduction in her rosacea. And there was a 66% reduction in the inflammation. Again, the inflammation is what causes those flare-ups. It is a cycle. More inflammation, more heat, more bad bacteria. It just keeps going until you address it. But what's really cool about this is actually the participant's personal perception of her skin. Because sometimes we forget, even though we see the results, we need to know our clients see and feel the same results. Because they might not always note it. So she said she felt significantly less irritated, and on a scale of 5 being the worst and 1 being the best, she actually went from a 3 to a 1 in irritation in those 2 weeks. So that's really significant. That's a lot of relief for someone who struggles with this. She also reported her sensitivity went from a 4 to a 2 in just a few days. That's a 50% decrease. I'll take a 50% decrease any day. I think a lot of your clients would. And for 2 weeks, and to get those results, I would not be upset about that. So this next participant also had rosacea. She saw a 50% reduction in the visible signs of rosacea from day 0 to day 14. And again, she actually also saw a 66% reduction in inflammation. That seems to be the very average number for 2 weeks. Participant reported that she actually had a 25% improvement across the total perception evaluation. This noted things like sensitivity, hydration, redness, glow, texture. So again, that is what she saw too, was a 25% improvement in 2 weeks. Imagine continuing on with that. So here we're looking at some acne, because that is the number one question I get is, are probiotics good for acne? Because acne is usually bad bacteria, right? What's going to fight bad bacteria? Good bacteria. Let's not overcomplicate that anymore. Let's fight that bad bacteria with some good bacteria and get people real and lasting results. So in the 14 days of using topical probiotics, we saw a 50% reduction in acne symptoms. Again, I will take 50% in 2 weeks. And a 25% reduction in inflammation. So here we're looking at what the magic of using a pro product along with the retail home care counterpart can do. So this client, so this is within a month, just using LaFlore, nothing invasive, no peels, no nothing. She got weekly facials for a month. So she was getting a LaFlore signature facial with that professional grade boost that we'll talk about in a little bit. She was also using the home care, because like any supplement, when you apply a probiotic, once is great, daily is best use. So she got some really remarkable results. So here we're looking at is Shannon Index. So by flooding the skin with probiotics daily, the participants were reducing the harmful bacteria population, and that's what we're seeing here on the graph in the Shannon Index. You can see that harmful bacteria has lowered in those 14 days. And that's our overall goal. And then in turn, the predictability function analysis that's shown here is going to show that the topical live probiotics reduce cellular processes and the production of human diseases. So all these functions that we're seeing and all these results we're getting are because the beneficial bacteria in the skin microbiome, and that's shown with this communication right here. So this is showing the communication of the bacteria in your skin. If you notice our baseline, so our initial, there's a lack of pathways here. They're not communicating well. Once we introduce that good live bacteria, they're helping to aid in the communication of your skin, of the bacteria in your skin microbiome. And that's a huge benefit. That is what gets us those results. That is why we're seeing such a big difference. They're communicating. They're saying, what do we need? How are we going to help? Where are the gaps? What's taking over? That is what we're looking for, and we get to see it here. So now how would we train clients? What do? We know what probiotics do. What is our next step? Your goal when someone comes in flared up is going to be to cool and soothe the inflammation and reset the skin microbiome and reduce the reoccurrence of those flare-ups. That's really what they're wanting. They're coming to you as the professional because they need that help. There's something that they're not happy with, and you don't want to make it worse. So the other thing you want to keep in mind when you're treating someone who has a flare-up or rosacea or dermatitis or whatever that might be, any kind of inflammatory disorder, you need to not use steam on them. We talked multiple times about that heat. being an issue. That's heat, and I hate the word we all do, that moisture, that moist environment. It's the perfect breeding ground for bad bacteria. We want to avoid that. So do not use steam on someone who's coming to you flared up. The other thing is cool down your steam towels. I am a towel esthetician. I love to use steam towels. I try to use the rounds, the gauze, whatever. I prefer towels. So I cool them down significantly because, again, do not want that extra heat and friction on a client's skin. So be careful when you're massaging. Don't do too many modalities. I love facial cupping, but if someone's flared up, I would not do facial cupping on them. Things like that. You really kind of want to be aware of your client's skin. So what you're going to want to suggest is a LaFlore Live Probiotics Signature Facial. It's your basic derby facial. So it's the first thing we learn in school as professionals. So you should all be very aware of it and how to do it. And it's nice. It feels good. They all love it. And you're going to want to, again, make those modifications with the steam. Keep your water a little bit on the cooler side. It should be very hydrating and soothing. And that's what our protocols are going to aim to do. They're going to break down that inflammation. They're going to help to get the skin back to that radiant calm. So your client will walk out with less redness, less inflammation, and just feeling a lot better about their skin. And what you're doing is you're giving a live probiotic professional grade boost from our booster right here, mixed into our hydrating mask and that. And that's really going to be a great delivery system of those live probiotics. And this is 3 times the daily dose. So this is truly a professional grade. You're going to help flood the skin with that good bacteria to help out impede the mat. So they're going to see some immediate results here. But the biggest thing I want you to remember is home care. We forget home care. That's still part of a client's treatment plan. And it's also part of your bottom line. It all works together. I know a lot of people come to me because they hate selling products. They're like, look, I don't want to sell product. But it's important. Your client a lot of times are coming to you. Some come for like the fun, feel-good facials, which we love. That's great. It's a great time. But a lot of you are going to come to you because there's something wrong. There's something they're not happy with. So it's your job to give them the products that are going to get them back to a happy state with their skin. Just like when you go to the doctor, you're going because there's a reason. There's something not right. You're going to expect some kind of prescription or treatment plan, right? Same thing with your clients. You have to remember you are the professional. It is your job to make sure they're getting stuff for their home care because 80% of the work is done at home. 20% is in that treatment room, but you don't get to see your client's skin every night to make sure they're doing things right. So you need to make sure you have home care that is working for them, that's easy to use, and that's helping their skin. It's just like if you go to work out with a trainer. The trainer could do a great workout for you, really give you the tools for success, but if you go home and spend kind of McDonald's for a month, you're not getting your results. I'm going to tell you right now, because we've all tried it, I wish that worked, it doesn't. You have to keep up with the work, sustain with skincare. So you want to make sure to have appropriate aftercare for your clients. We recommend our enzymatic cleanser. It's a gentle cleanser, but it's got a little bit of exfoliation from a pineapple enzyme in there, which if you have someone who flares up, they cannot have that manual exfoliation. That's the other thing. You don't want to scrub someone's skin that's already irritated. It can cause more irritation. So this is a way to get that cell turnover without it. It's also non-stripping. So if you have a cleanser and you wash it and afterwards you feel really squeaky clean, you strip your skin. And as we talked about in the beginning, that's what's going to lead to maybe the bad bacteria taking over. So you want to try to keep your cleansers non-stripping. You should feel squeaky and tight after. And then we're going to recommend that concentrated live probiotic serum. That's where that magic with that beneficial bacteria is going to be in. And if your client's only going to go home with one product, because we know you can't toss a lot of products at most people, it's too overwhelming. So if they're going to go home with one thing, this is that one thing. This is their skin supplement. And it's a really easy way to describe it when you talk to them about probiotics for their gut, because people are so familiar with that. So just like you taking a probiotic once for your gut is fine. But if you do it daily, you actually get those long-term lasting, really amazing results, right? Same thing with your skin. Applying it once in the back bar with a professional grade, great case start. But you're really going to get those lasting and consistent results when you're applying it at home and helping your skin to continue to rebalance and to replenish. The last product up there is going to be our Daily Defense Moisturizer. This is a really great moisturizer because it can be used on all clients and all skin types, all skin tones, all of our line can truly. It's got hyaluronic acid in 2 ways, so it will kind of keep that hydration level up. It's got some vitamin D3 in there. And it's really great too if you have any clients who are really heavy makeup wearers. I started in makeup. I wish I would have had this moisturizer to use under a lot of clients because it really sets up nicely and you can kind of reapply it throughout the day if you need more over or under makeup. So it's really beautiful. And then of course, start with your simple system. When you have someone who's irritated and has inflammatory issues, it's really important to not continue to overwhelm the skin with too many products. You need to cut it back to the basics. And then if you handle it, their skin replenish and rebalance and slowly bring in more. Then we can see what else they might need, but let them get back to basics. That's the stuff that gets skipped a lot. And I see it all the time. Estheticians jump really into the heavy treatments. And sometimes it's just not the best option. Sometimes you really need to see what's going on and replenish the skin first and then take those next steps. And if you do anything like microneedling or chemical peels, they're done in a series usually. Well, you need to make sure after that they have home care that will help with the recovery. Because you strip the skin, you've taken away that good bacteria. You need to replenish it after because that's not only going to help them have a healthy skin microbiome, it's going to improve the results from those treatments and it's also going to provide longer results. So it'll keep it up and it'll help get them healthy in between so their skin can be ready for the next one in the series. Because if you're just doing the series too many times and the skin is not able to repair itself in between, that next one is going to cause more damage. So you need to make sure you can get the skin ready for that next peel or microneedle or whatever you're doing to kind of get those more intense treatments. So talk to your rosacea clients. So as estheticians, again, you've talked a lot about rosacea, but this really applies to any of those inflammatory diseases or conditions. Now, as estheticians, we cannot diagnose. We can raise concern though. Diagnosing is out of our scope, but we are absolutely in our right to raise areas of concern and even recommend maybe seeing a dermatologist or something if there's something that we think they need a little bit more in-depth answers on or a true diagnosis on. So just only, talk to your clients, look at it, discuss options. And you want to talk to them about balancing skin microbiome and building that skin immunity. That's going to be really important to explain that because they need to establish that baseline of skin health. Again, you really don't want to go any further until you get their skin back to that baseline. And then you want to talk to them that supplementing the skin microbiome with probiotics is going to help their skin do what it's naturally meant to do. Our skin knows how to repair and heal itself. But if you're constantly stripping it and tearing it down, it won't be able to. You're just going to keep tearing away at it. You need to rebuild it. You need to get it back healthy. Our skin is smart. Our ancestors didn't have all these issues we're having now. They didn't have rosacea way back when just because they weren't affecting their skin microbiome. We have so many crazy things in our world now that just affect our skin, so we need to replenish it to help kind of combat that. And number 3 is the most important to me, and this is just good advice for life. So let's just take this for life advice. Consistency is key. You need to be consistent, especially when it comes to home care. You need to remind your clients. Again, you are the professional. It's your job to remind your clients to do it. We all know we have frustrated clients who will not use their skincare right, and they're sitting on the shelf. They think staring at it's going to make it worse. You need to remind them they need to apply it. And one of the ways to get them to apply it is by keeping it a simple routine. If you overcomplicate it, they'll get overwhelmed and they will not use it. So keep it simple, especially when you're starting out with a new client. 2 to 3 steps. Only add 2 to 3 steps to their life and then go from there. All right, so that's going to wrap up today. I want to thank you guys for sticking this out. I think you guys are having so much fun at Gina's GlamJam here in Vegas. So there's a couple ways if you're interested in what we went over today. If you want to know a little bit more, maybe you're wanting to try this out for yourselves, or hopefully you would think about your clients, friends, and families who might be struggling. Come talk to us. We are in the booth. We're happy to answer questions. I love talking and shop with everyone. That's my favorite part of the job, is getting to connect with other professionals. It is really my bread and butter. And you can access us through Gina's GlamJam on their Phoenix, or not Gina's, the Phoenix Salon Suite app. You can access LaFlore Wholesale through there, and you will get a special discount if you are a Gina's GlamJam or Phoenix Salon Suite red shirt. You actually get an additional discount, which is so nice and will help, again, increase that, your percentage. It will also help your backbar costs, something to think about. And then if you have other questions or you need help ordering or you just want to talk shop or industry, you can email me or call me. That is a cell phone number, so call or text me. I'm a millennial. I'm glued to my phone. You will get a hold of me, I swear. It comes so nice. I really do just love to talk to you guys and answer any questions when it comes to the skin, microbiome, probiotics. You saw mine before, so it truly is my passion, and I would love to help get this to your clients and help get them some relief and lasting results. So that's all I have for you today. For those of you who are trying, I hope you get home safe, and thank you guys for coming. I had so much fun in Vegas.